As of the latest update, the boss roster of Elden Ring Nightreign has just gotten an upgrade. Yup, From Software has created hard mode variants of each Night Lord fight. Tagged as an Everdark Sovereign expedition, these missions modify the Night Lord boss with new mechanics, attack patterns, and significantly more HP. So even the most prepared Nightfarer is gonna struggle with clearing one of these expeditions. But if you're up to the challenge and make it out alive, you'll be rewarded with a new type of currency in the game. Today, we'll be going over how Everdark Sovereign works in Nightreign, give a brief overview of what the new currency does, and cover all the boss changes for the first Everdark Sovereign, the Gaping Jaw. Without further ado, here's the Everdark Sovereign explained in Nightreign. Everdark Sovereign is a variant of pre-existing Nightlord expeditions, significantly increasing the difficulty of the final boss. If you've played Monster Hunter, it's similar to that franchise's tempered monster fights. The first two nights of an Everdark Sovereign expedition are pretty much identical to their normal variants. However, the final boss receives significant changes. The boss will start in the second phase. Additional phases are added once the boss loses 50% of their HP. The Night Lord's HP is greatly increased, and boss aggression is increased what feels like tenfold. Team condition is mandatory in one of these expeditions, as is exploiting the boss's weakness. You'll want to be at least level 13 and have a legendary armament before the end of the second night. Upgrade your flasks as much as you can and bring some spare warming stones to restore your team's HP. Flasks of wondrous physic that improve your HP or damage mitigation are also recommended here. If your team defeats the Everdark Sovereign, you'll be awarded the Sovereign Sigils. This is a new type of currency that can be spent at the collector signboard vendor in the Round Table Hold. You can find them near the shoreline to the left of the building. These will become available once you beat your first Everdark Sovereign boss. Sovereign Sigils may be exchanged for character skins, new chalices, relics, or force-shifting earth spawns on your next expedition. The first Everdark Sovereign added to Nightreign is the Gaping Jaw. While it is primarily weak to poison, you can also do significant damage with a Scarlet Rot status buildup. This version of the Gaping Jaw features significantly more AoE attacks, a cyclone mechanic, and the inclusion of spirit springs near the edges of the arena. Beating this boss will require optimized survivability affixes and relics. Any affixes that improve your lightning resistance and general damage mitigation will go a long way here. A few you might consider picking up for your build are improved damage negation at full HP, improved damage negation for successive hits, and improved lightning resistance. Once you reach Adele, you'll immediately be met with its second phase form. This boss will barrel towards your team with a wide range of explosive AoE attacks, back-to-back grabs, and slams. Removing half of Adele's HP will trigger its third phase, where it'll slam the ground and trigger its usual AoE wipe mechanic. Unlike phase 2, however, as soon as the explosion triggers, Adele will create a cyclone that follows them. You must stay inside the cyclone to avoid taking constant damage over time. There are spirit springs around the edges of the arena you can use to fling yourself back into Adele's cyclone if you're caught in the storm. They'll appear as blue rifts on the ground. Note that lightning storms seem to be ever present once the third phase begins, so stay on the move. Adele will end this phase with a very powerful AoE attack. If you're looking to negate it, we suggest using one of your character ultimate arts to stun Adele out of the AoE attack and prevent any damage to your team, or worse, a full team wipe. Beyond the cyclone mechanic, Adele is significantly more aggressive than ever before, featuring far more leaping attacks. Treat this fight like Prime Consort Radahn from the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC in base Elden Ring. Survivability is paramount here, as is aggro management if you're playing with a full team. From what we can tell, Adele's fourth phase is more of the same, featuring an even smaller cyclone and additional AoE attacks. Stay close to the boss, never leave the cyclone, and burn the Night Lord's HP down as fast as possible. Since your team is forced to stay together during the latter half of the fight, consider bringing relics that share flask heals and consumable items. Sharing Wondrous Physic Flask and Poison Grease can make this fight significantly easier. At the time of recording, the next Everdark Sovereign fight From Software has announced is the Dark Drift Knight. Good luck on your next Everdark expedition.